How's it going, folks? Welcome to Week 12 preview here on College Football Time with Avery Miguel. I'm Miguel Mike Medina. This is my partner, Avery. Avery, I'm very excited about this first one that we're going to talk about. It's a noon game, Notre Dame versus Pitt. This is the first time, probably since week one, that Notre Dame will face a big test on their schedule. The Panthers, in my opinion, they have a solid run defense. So it'll be interesting to see how Jeremiah Love, will go up against that Panthers defense. Um, I see this. I mean, according to a spread, it has Notre Dame winning by 10, but I think Notre Dame will win this 35 to 29.
I think not only is this a good test for Pitt, it's a good test for Notre Dame because Pitt actually in a good position for an ACC title game. And Notre Dame at this point, they need to win decisively for all their games in order to be in prime position of the 12. So Pitt being ranked, I think is a good look for Pitt. They've been playing really good football, but they need to get locked in. They need to make sure they utilize their weapons properly. Um, the 10 points per game, I think is a over. I think Notre Dame might win by like 7, but I think Pitt's going to give them a really good challenge in the beginning because it would be a great for Pitt, even though it won't affect their ACC standing. I think this could be also a really good test for Pitt, but I'm going to go on this one. I think it's going to be a close game, but I also think it's going to be a high scoring game. So I'm going to go Notre Dame.
Number 11, Oklahoma versus number 4, Alabama. That is one of the most anticipated games this weekend. Ty Simpson versus John Mateer. Which of the two will have win the battle? However, Alabama's offense, they need to score some more points. They have to, but it's not gonna be easy because the Sooners they have one of the best defense in the nation, not only in SEC but in the nation in general. So this is gonna be a very fascinating matchup. It's one of those matchups where I would like to go with Oklahoma, but I just can't count out Alabama. So I'm gonna go Alabama, 23 to 20.
I think that's a good, and I'm going to agree with you on that one. This is a test for both teams. Right now, there is the opportunity for 5 SEC teams to get college playoff, and Alabama and Oregon are sitting right there that they could get in that position. So, excuse me, Oklahoma really like this be an to help them in that position. Yes, the Oklahoma defense is stellar. I mean, absolutely stellar from, let's say, Ohio State's defense. So they need to utilize that. But this offense needs to get a good kickstart in order for them to take control. On the other side, I completely agree with you. Alabama's offense needs to get, they need to curated. This is a place where Alabama is usually in during the Nick Saban era. With this new era with beer, it's they're in a really good place, but at the same time, they're starting to find identity. And one way to do that would be to just get their offense fired up. So even though I could predict you don't think that get some really close scoring as well as scoring opportunities that happen for both teams. But I think it's going to be like a middle range score. So I'm looking for Alabama to win this 24 versus Oklahoma 20. think it's going to be a close game for a good majority of the game, and then really just going to be opportunity for either team, and it's probably going to be defenses that that
Number 10, Texas versus number 5, Georgia. Another fascinating matchup. The Longhorns, they have an elite rush defense. Georgia, they have a good defense, but they're like there for me. Their defense this year, but they're very good at home, and you cannot underestimate the Bulldogs at home. So with that being said, I'm gonna go with the Bulldogs, 26-21.
I agreement. Again, like I said, this is a test for Texas, where Texas, the expectation of Texas in the beginning of the season is the Texas now they're it's working for them. Another SEC team in Georgia right sitting pretty. This could be really Texas to win if they upset Georgia. And I think the role Texas has had over the past few weeks, I think this could be the challenge that they overcome, where the expectation we had in the beginning of the season for the team is where that it can be. I'm going to go with the upset. I'm playing in it's tough. It is tough. I'd say a good tough, difficult college stadium to play in. But not only am I going to go with Texas in Georgia, I'm also going to go with it in over. And I'm going to give it a higher scoring game too. So I'm going to go Texas 30, Georgia.
And how about this one, Avery? South Florida versus Navy. This one has the potential to be a very good game. I see it as a high scoring game in some way. Now the question is, will Blake Horvath play? That's a question coming into this game. As much as I like South Florida and I respect them, but I'm gonna say Navy to come out of this one. I'm gonna give Navy late touchdown, 33-28.
It is a really good matchup. It's an underrated matchup. Florida has been playing, some in football. They've been spoiler for a few teams this year, and I kind of like teams that play spoiler because other teams are going to take them seriously. Navy, all of them, it being, Veterans Day and, Military Appreciation Week, if you will, throughout some of the events. I think it might boost Navy very considering they're playing the game at home. Um, I'm also going to go with Navy for the upset. I think it could be a close game. I think it might be a high scoring game as well. I think a lot of emotions may be high for both. I'm going to go Navy 40, South Florida 5.
Now here's the fun part. What matchups, or do you see that it's under the radar that we should keep an eye on?
Actually, the two Friday night, we have Clemson at Louisville. Louisville ranked 20, and also Minnesota at Oregon. And Oregon is ranked 9, I believe. I think both Friday night could have potential where Clemson and Minnesota playing spoiler, but at the same time, you could have Louisville and Oregon getting very good position in their conferences. Or Louisville is top of the ACC. Now, I'm not sure if that can get them catapult they need if they go for an ACC title to get into the playoff. But again, this is a really good position for Louisville. They just need to play their really good brand of football. But we've had before about Minnesota, where sometimes, they're kind of a hot and cold team, but don't count Minnesota out. Like to do a really good job at just spoiling the show for Oregon. And I think it would be devastating if Minnesota could pull an upset. But in all, since Louisville and Oregon respectively are playing at home, I'm gonna pick those two teams to win decisively to keep their conference title and playoff title hopes alive.
I definitely see that Clemson Louisville game interesting. It'll be a Friday night, so definitely should be a good one. Minnesota, like we said before, that's a team that I feel like they're on the verge of ascending in the future if they play their cards right. And I want to see that. I'm really hoping and wanting that for them. But guys, that does it for our previews for week 12. Out of all games, the one that intrigues me the most that I could call, I'll say Mike's game of the week for this Saturday is Notre Dame versus Pitt. I'm looking forward to that one. I could feel it. Um, and like we said previously, Avery, Notre Dame, they're clicking at the right time. And if they win this game, especially if it's decisively, then all eyes on them.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Notre Dame game is, I think that is the game of, I know everyone is saying that Texas Georgia game with primetime game, Oklahoma versus Alabama, mid-afternoon. But I think that Pitt Notre Dame has a very good opportunity for everyone to not only on Pitt because any chances they've been, very good to kind of break out Louisville, especially at ACC conference. But again, Notre Dame, great position. They to win decisively. So I agree with you. That is a good game that everyone needs to keep their eyes on.
All right, guys, have fun this Saturday to watch college football. Once again, thank you for tuning in to watch me and Avery give our previews. We'll see you guys on Monday. Yes, on Monday as we give our recap of this weekend and hopefully win for a good one. I mean, we're in week 12 and we're gonna see some teams that are gonna move up, some teams are gonna move down, as we can see. But it's November, November to remember. So let's see what happens this Saturday. Thank you for tuning in for college football time. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe button. And as always, be safe and may God bless each and every one of you. As you guys, I'm seeing wearing army this entire week. I'm honoring servicemen and women, watching movies, documentaries, etc. Avery, thank you for recommending me some documentaries, and I shared some stuff with you. And let's keep this thing going.
Have a good week, everyone. We'll see you back Monday.